So in the previous class we had discussed about the plant tissue, that is meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Again, permanent tissue is classified into two types, that is simple permanent and complex permanent. So now in this class we will discuss about the animal tissues. So in animal body also so many functions are taking place. Like when we breathe we can feel the movement of our chest. So we have specialized cells called muscle cells. The contraction and relaxation of these cells result in the movement. So when we breathe we inhale oxygen which goes to the lungs and then transported to all the parts of the body through the blood. Then the cells are taking the oxygen and the mitochondria is synthesizing the energy. The blood flows and carries various substance from one part of the body to another part. For example, it carries oxygen and food to all the parts of the body and collects waste from all the parts of the body and carries them to liver and kidney for disposal. So in animal body so many functions are taking place, and for that each and every function and cell or tissue is required. So blood and muscles, those are both examples of tissues that are found in our body. So on the basis of the functions they perform, animal tissues are mainly of four types, like epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue, nervous tissue. Then I gave example blood carries oxygen and food from one part to another part, or it collects the waste from all the parts to kidney and liver. So it is connecting all the parts, so that is why it is going. Blood is a type of connective tissue. Similarly, muscles, they are forming the muscular tissue. So for different type of functions we need different cells, and different similar cells when they group together they form tissue. So according to the function they perform, the animal tissues are of four types: epithelial, connective, muscular and nervous. So out of these four types of animal tissue, first of all we will discuss about the epithelial tissue. So it is known as the covering and protective tissue. Covering or the protective tissue in the animal body, these are known as epithelial tissues. So epithelia that covers most of the organs and cavities within the body. It also forms a barrier to keep different body systems separate. So the skin, the lining of the mouth, the lining of the blood vessels, lungs, alveoli and kidney tubules, all these are made up of epithelial tissue, because these are the covering or protective tissue in the animal body. So epithelial tissue act as a covering or the protective tissue in the animal body, and these are found in the skin, the lining of the mouth, the lining of blood vessels, lung, alveoli, kidney tubules. These all are made up of epithelial tissue. So these cells are tightly packed and form a continuous sheet. They have only a small amount of cementing material between them and almost no intercellular spaces. They don't have intercellular spaces. So when something is entering or leaving the body, it must cross at least one layer of epithelium. So we had heard the word permeable, semi-permeable membrane. You had heard that word. So here also the permeability of the cells of various epithelia plays an important role in regulating the exchange of materials between the body and the external environment, and also the different parts of the body. So epithelia, it permits or it allows the cells of various epithelia to exchange the material, and epithelium is usually separated from the underlying tissue by an extracellular fibrous basement membrane. So if we will discuss the functions of different epithelia, then we can also get three types of epithelial tissues. First is our simple squamous. If we will take the example, for example, in the cells lining blood vessels or lung alveoli, where transportation of substance occurs through a selectively permeable surface. In the blood vessels or lungs, alveoles, transportation takes place through semi-permeable surface. So there is a simple flat kind of epithelium. So this is a simple flat kind of epithelium known as simple squamous epithelium. It is a simple flat kind kind of epithelium. So simple squamous epithelial cells are extremely thin and flat and form a delicate lining. The oesophagus and the lining of the mouth are also covered with the squamous epithelium. The skin which protects the body, that is also made up of squamous epithelium. So skin epithelial cells are arranged in many layers to prevent wear and tear. Suppose when we are falling down or we are getting wound, so it is not that easy to get injured, means our skin is just getting injured because the skin epithelial cells are arranged in many layers to prevent wear and tear. So since they are arranged in a pattern of layers, that time the epithelial is called stratified squamous epithelium. So when there is a simple flat kind of epithelium is there, that is called simple squamous epithelium. These are very thin and flat and form a delicate lining, and these are found in the oesophagus and the lining of the mouth. So in the oesophagus and in the lining of the mouth, simple squamous epithelial tissue that is found, but the skin which protects us protects the body made up of squamous epithelium, but the skin epithelial cells are arranged in many layers. These are arranged in many layers to prevent wear and tear, and since these are arranged in a pattern of layers, this epithelial is called stratified squamous epithelium. So our skin is the stratified squamous epithelium. So next is our columnar epithelium. So where absorption and secretion occur, for example as in the inner lining of the intestine, tall epithelial cells are present for the absorption and the secretion. So this is called columnar epithelium, because it is like pillar. It is tall, that is why it is known as columnar. Its name is given as columnar because it is tall and it looks like pillar. So this columnar epithelium facilitates movement across the epithelial barrier. So in the respiratory tract, the columnar epithelium tissue also has cilia, which has hair-like projections. So cilia means the hair-like projections on the outer surface of the epithelial cells. These are found in the respiratory tract. So these cilia can move and their movement pushes the mucus forward to clear it. So that type of epithelium is called ciliated columnar epithelium. First of all, when absorption or secretions takes place like inner lining of the intestine, that time the epithelial cells are tall and it looks like pillar, and it is called columnar epithelium tissue, or this columnar epithelium facilitates or allows the movement across the epithelial barrier. In the respiratory tract, it has cilia. That means columnar epithelium has cilia, which are hair-like projections. So these cilia can move and their movements pushes the mucus forward to clear it. So that type of epithelium is called ciliated columnar epithelium. Since the columnar epithelium have cilia, that is why it can be also called as ciliated columnar epithelium. So next is our cuboidal epithelium. So cuboidal epithelium, the name itself shows that it is of cube shape and forms the lining of kidney tubules and ducts of salivary glands, where it provides mechanical support. So this type of epithelium is found in the lining of the kidney tubules and ducts of salivary glands. So epithelial cells are acquire additional specialization as gland cells. So it can secrete substance at the epithelial surface. So gland cells, they can secrete the substance at the epithelial surface, and sometimes a portion of the epithelial tissue folds inward and a multicellular gland is formed. That is why this is also called as glandular epithelium. So cuboidal epithelium is found in the lining of kidney tubules, ducts of salivary glands. That it supports the it provides mechanical support. Then it also have a additional specialization as gland cells, which can secrete substances at the epithelial surface, and when it contains the glands, it forms a multicellular gland. That time it is called glandular epithelium. Here you can see this is a simple flat squamous epithelium which is found in the lining of the mouth and esophagus. When the skin is formed, the skin is made up of a layer of squamous epithelium, that is called stratified squamous epithelium. So skin protects the body, that is why it is arranged in many layers to prevent wear and tear, and this is called stratified squamous epithelium. When absorption and secretions takes place in the inner lining of the intestine, so the epithelial cells are like pillar and they are tall, that is why they are known as columnar epithelium. So in the respiratory tract, when they have cilia, which are hair like projections, that time it is called ciliated columnar epithelium. And cuboidal epithelium, these are of cube shape, they form the lining of the kidney tubules and ducts of salivary glands, and sometimes when a portion of the epithelial tissue folds inward and multicellular gland is formed, that time it is called glandular epithelium. So this is all about the epithelial tissue of animal body. So in the next class we will discuss about the connective tissue.